Let's finish slide 9. That's where we left off yesterday. So if we go to our notes, we need to look and see if we did the correct work for the distributive property. So whenever you distribute this, 2x plus 12, the next one, 12x minus 24, and then distribute here, 5x plus 35, distribute here, 12x plus 18, distribute there, 3x minus 3. Anytime you have a negative, you have to distribute the whole negative sign. So it's negative 7x plus 14. A negative 2. So I like to circle the whole number if there's a negative in front of it, so it helps me remember to multiply the negative. Negative 2 times a negative x would be a positive 2x. Negative 2 times 10 is a negative 10. And 5, 15x plus 10. And then 9x plus 27. I forgot to look at that. Okay. So if you're at home whenever you're doing your notes, you can do the work in your journal, and then you can drag and drop here. You can also write in here or write in your journal for any one of these. If you're in class, we're just going to do everything on paper in our composition book. So we're starting Unit 2, which is solving multi-step equations. So we're going to start out a little slow with solving just 2-step equations. So let's do a little reminder on how to solve equations. So in class, I've passed out this half sheet. So solving multi-step equations, go ahead and write your name on it just in case it falls out of your journal. And let's fill in the blank. This page goes on page 15. The last little notes page goes on page 15. So dot, dot, not a lot. And now we're going to put this one on page 16 after we write on it. Okay, so goal for solving multi-step equations is to isolate the variable on one side of the equal sign. Isolate the variable on one side of the equal sign. That is our whole goal. We're wanting to find out what the x variable equals. Then we are going to follow the steps. Simplify both sides of the equation by combining like terms and using the distributive property. Step 2, do inverse operations to get all the variables on one side and the constants on the other. Then our inverse operations. So inverse operation means the opposite of what you currently have. So if I have add, then the opposite would be subtract. If the variable is being multiplied, the opposite is to divide. And do the inverse operations. You want to do the add and subtract inverse operation first. And once there is no other add or subtract on both sides, then you want to do the multiply and divide. Then our next step, our last step, is to check your answer by substituting the solution into your original equation. And you can use the calculator for this. But show what you're putting in the calculator. I'll zoom in a little bit on that. So you're going to check it in the original equation. You can use your calculator, but show on paper what you put into your calc. And then we have an example here. So this is just a two-step equation, 2x plus 4. What I like to do is draw a line down my equal sign. So I'm going to ask for you to do that. I don't know if you've done that in the past, last year. But that just helps you distinguish what's on the left, what's on the right. Because whatever you do on one side, you have to do to the other. So the first step would be there's a plus 4 here. So the opposite of plus 4 is minus 4. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Don't work on the assignment just yet. It's not the assignment, it's actually notes. I want y'all to look at this first, please. You should be working on this. Ignore me. Then we have a 2x equals 6. Then we would divide by 2 on both sides. And so 2 over 2 gives us 1. So we're able to mark that out, and we just have an x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And so this is the steps written out. And then you check your answer by plugging in your answer. So our answer is 3. So we write our equation without the x, but with the 3 instead. Plug it in. And this is what I would put in the calculator. 2 times 3 plus 4. But I can actually do that in my head. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 4 is 10. So 10 equals 10. So I put a little check mark showing that I've checked my work. But this is the answer. Let's put a box around our answer. Okay, so now I want y'all to look at the next page. This is just a printout of slide number 12. So if you're not in class, you can write these in your journal, write it on a piece of paper, and then glue it in your journal because there's not enough room in just that one page. Or since you're in class, you can write on this. Okay, so solving one variable equations with 2 steps. Go ahead and write your name on here. Hopefully you remember doing this last year. Solving equations is a big part of algebra. This is just the beginning. This is just with 2 steps. We're going to get into multi-step equations. So let's look. Why don't y'all go ahead and do 1, 2, and 3 right now. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to let y'all do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you should have taken time to do 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. Go through each step. Six minus 6 is 0, so we can cross it out. 12 minus 6 is 6. Divide by 3. Y equals 2. And then to show checking, I'm going to write the word check. And then I'm going to substitute in. I'm going to rewrite the equation, but instead of writing y, I'm going to write a 2. So parentheses 2 plus 6 equals 12. And I'm going to see if that is true. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 6. 12 equals 12. So that is my check. And I'm going to put a box around my answer. Okay, the next one, they just put the constant term up front, but we know that's a positive, so we do the opposite. And then divide by 3. I'm going to check it down here. So it'll be 10 plus 3 times 5 equals 25. If I just want to put this in the calculator or just do it in my head, what's 3 times 5? Plus 10 more? So 25 equals 25. Check mark, and then put a box around my answer. Number 3. So minus 8, minus 8. 2x equals 8. So divide by 2. X equals 4. And check. 2 times 4 plus 8 equals 16. What is 2 times 4 plus 8? So 16 equals 16. So we checked it. So put a little check mark. Put a box around x equals 4. Okay, so we're done with 1 through 3. Let's do number 6 since we're right here. Draw your line down to your equal sign. I need to get rid of the add and subtract first, so I need to get rid of this plus 5. So the opposite of plus 5, minus 5. So that leaves me with j over 3 equals 4. What operation does this represent? Division, yeah. So this is actually division. J divided by 3. What's the inverse operation to division? Okay, so I'm going to multiply the whole thing times 3. So J equals 4 times 3, which is 12. Okay, so let's check our work. So instead of writing J, I'm going to write 12 over 3 plus 5 equals 9. That's 3. So 12 over 3 means 12 divided by 3, which is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. So we can check it off. We can put a box around our answer. I'm going to have you finish the rest of this paper. So 2, 4, 6, 8 problems. So I'm going to pause it while you do that.